Dan Crenshaw is a Navy SEAL. He's a member of Congress. He lost an eye in combat, and he could kick my ass. So anything I'm about to say about him, please, I'm just kidding around, Dan. You're Navy. You should be able to take it, right? We joke. Here's Dan Crenshaw saying that he wants to kill Tucker Carlson.
Have you ever met Tucker?
We've talked a lot. If I ever meet him, I'll find him. He's the worst person.
If I ever meet him, I'll probably kill him. After our interview, this is Steve Edgington from GB News. After our interview, I asked Dan Crenshaw if he had ever met Tucker Carlson. He said, I would kill him if I saw him. I laughed it off. He said, no, seriously, I would kill him. Watch my interview below where I asked if he is a neocon. Well, that's a good idea. Let's watch that, shall we?
Just coming back to this $100 billion to Ukraine, I know that people like Tucker Carlson would make the argument that there's a real opportunity cost there. You know, we could have spent that money on the border or fixing, issues in America. Yeah. What do you make of that argument that all this money could have been spent to help Americans, not Ukrainians?
Well, you can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. We spend 75-80% of our budget on a welfare state in America, on Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. I would love to ask Tucker what he thinks that $100 billion should be spent on, and if he would vote for it as a conservative. Tucker doesn't know what he's talking about. Tucker likes to visit Moscow and talk about how great the grocery stores are. So I don't really take his advice very seriously.
So that got real, didn't it? Yeah, it's not usual that a sitting member of Congress or any elected official, for that matter, threatens to kill Tucker Carlson. Now, a lot of people are like, "Wow, that seems really, extreme, right?" And half the people who see this say, "Well, that's just crazy rhetoric, and he's being hyperbolic. It doesn't really mean he wants to kill Tucker Carlson." The other half of the people look at him and say, "Well, here's the thing: he could kill him because he's a freaking Navy SEAL, and maybe if you're a Navy SEAL." And we know that your job was to kill people, the bad guys, but still, a thing or two about killing people. If that's the case, maybe you shouldn't even joke about such things, right? Because it's pretty easy to take you seriously. The fact is, right now, Congressman Crenshaw of Texas is a major proponent of continuing the war effort between Russia and Ukraine and the United States, sending arms and sending aid to continue that war effort and defend Ukraine, because he wants Ukraine to prevail and he wants Moscow to lose. And anybody who suggests that that's not a good idea tends to get in Crenshaw's crosshairs, rhetorically speaking. Figuratively, that would be Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson is very much on the opposite end of that conversation. And, well, that's where these two butt heads. The thing about Tucker is he doesn't threaten to kill anybody, even jokingly. And Tucker likes to joke, but that's something he wouldn't joke about. Dan Crenshaw, sitting member of Congress and literally a guy who's been trained to kill people, he jokes about it, I guess. That's just weird. And it's probably not right. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, fellow Republican of Dan Crenshaw, saw this and tagged Crenshaw on X, the Everything app, and said, "Did you threaten to kill my friend Tucker Carlson?" To which Congressman Crenshaw said, "LOL, no." But he did. I mean, didn't he? I mean, it wasn't sort of a punchline. It wasn't sort of a, ha ha, you know what I mean? Here's the great thing about X, the Everything app, by the way. The next thing you know, Elon Musk is chiming in on the same thread saying, "Why is Crenshaw homicidal regarding Tucker?" And then, of course, Tucker sees it and replies, "Why don't you come sit for an interview and we'll see how you do? I'll send you my address, Dan Crenshaw." And I think that's where it ended. We haven't had any other response from either Congressman Crenshaw or anyone else involved in this, but it is kind of strange. And now it's time for me to tell you my story. Let me just say, Dan Crenshaw never threatened to kill me, nor I him. But I did have an encounter with Congressman Crenshaw. It was at an event in downtown Washington, D.C., and it was social, and we were all having a nice time, and we were having cocktails. And I don't think Mr. Crenshaw, in fact, I don't even know, I shouldn't say we were having cocktails. I was having a cocktail. I can't remember if Congressman Crenshaw had a drink or not. He may have had a beer. And he asked me if I knew Tucker Carlson because he knew what I did for a living. And he asked me if I knew Tucker Carlson. And I said, yeah, actually, I've known Tucker for a long time. We go way back. And he did not even hesitate to tell me how much he hated Tucker Carlson. Now, I can't remember independently for sure if he used the word, I'd kill him if I saw him. Okay. Because even if he did, it didn't make an impression on me because I tend to not take that kind of language seriously. Although in retrospect, perhaps I should have. But I can tell you in this encounter with Dan Crenshaw about Tucker Carlson, Congressman Crenshaw went off and spent many, many, many minutes laying into everything that he thought was wrong with Tucker Carlson, how subversive he is, how impactful he is, how negative of an impact he has on American politics and the American culture and American political dialogue. And I definitely, whether he used these words or not, I walked away with the impression that Dan Crenshaw, at the very least, wanted to kick the shit out of Tucker Carlson. So this is not a one-off. This is the kind of thing that he does. And like I said, I take it for what it's worth. I report, you decide. But it seems to me if you're a congressman and you're literally a retired Navy SEAL and you spent a lot of your military career killing people, that should probably be removed from your vocabulary, even if it's just hyperbolic rhetoric. Generally speaking, if you don't like somebody and you're very fully capable of killing him, lay off the I'd kill him if I saw him kind of language. It's just my advice. Take it or leave it. Trust me, Congressman Crenshaw, I got no beef with you. Just you go that way, I'll go this way. You're going to be fine.